9 of us who escaped. Number 1 was killed in Malaysia. Number 2 was murdered in England. Number 3 was hunted down in Kenya.
You can only be killed in sequence.
What number am I? 7? 5? I'm number 4. I'm next. I've been on the run since I can remember. You keep your head down. I know how to blend in.
Yeah, I remember when there was a time it was proud to proclaim, I'm number 1.
Yeah.
I'm number 1. Even second place was kind of cool, but when you got aliens coming and killing your ass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, number 1 ain't so great.
Yeah, it's good to come in.
I'm number 16.
Yeah. It's good to come in about 4th or 5th place, you know? 'Cause that bronze medal don't look so bad.
Even though I'm shocked that they didn't even want to like take the riskier chance of calling this movie I Am Number 2, which, you know, it's like, oh, think about all the jokes you can make with that one.
Hey, they were smart about that.
They were smart about that. Yeah, it's okay to be pissed, but when you are shit, you know, which when you think about it, number 2 in this movie was pretty much shit because he couldn't last.
It would make as much sense, considering after watching this movie, as far as like what the hero of this movie, his abilities, as far as like, really, is that all you can dream up? This guy who's able to have flashlights on his hand? Is it this is like the further adventures of Flashlight Man?
Come on, man.
Come on.
Why are you going to deny his telekinesis or his acrobatics?
Oh,
Yeah, come on,
is
man.
that what they call it?
And by the way, in case you are questioning our mad mathematical skills, we're throwing out all these numbers. The reason why we're bringing up like the place of number 1 and number 2 and number 3, number 4, number 5, and anything on after that is because in this film you have a race of aliens who have been like pretty much hunted down by another group of aliens. In fact, I just go ahead and tell people in this movie what this is about. So, in this film, you have actor Alex Pettyfer. That sounds like a pedophile's name.
He either that or a butler. But,
That's true. Yeah, it is more like a butler.
Pettyfer, bring me my scotch.
Come here, boy.
My slippers, please.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Alex Pettyfer. No, he's a teenage actor. He might be in his 30s. You know how they do with teenage actors.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No,
That's
he
the
was
funny
in his
thing,
30s.
'cause he looked teenagery at first, but the longer it went on, I was like, this kid's almost 30. Remember, all these kids are almost 30.
Yes, he's a Ryan Phillippe knockoff, but he looks like Ryan Phillippe today.
Right.
But but Alex Pettyfer he's in this movie. He's a teenage alien from a dead planet. Planet ain't alive no more.
No.
The planet gone.
Planet Teriyaki, yes.
And now he, along with his protector, played by Timothy Oliphant in this movie. You know, he's got an older guy who's protecting him. It sounds like some gay shit to me, but
Everything sounds like some gay shit.
you know, yeah, what I'm talking about. They're on the run from another from the trench coat mafia. Another group of aliens who look like skinheads with trench coats, and for hair they have tattoos.
Yeah. See, I thought
And on their planet, they don't have toothbrushes.
See, that's the thing. I thought they were like leftover vampires from 30 Days of Night. I mean, honestly.
Oh yeah, they were the Euro trash vampires.
Yeah.
They were all black, so you know they were villainous. Yeah, so they're on the run from this race of evil aliens who like to take over planets and species, and they're hunting down this particular species, and they're particularly hunting down the last remaining young members of this alien race, because those last remaining members are the only hope for keeping this species alive. Apparently, they got crazy powers.
Yes, they have these legacy powers they're born with, and when you're born with these powers, it makes you have the responsibility of being a protector. So these aliens, the Mogs or whatever they call,
Yeah, what were they called? The DeLoreans, the midichlorians?
they had a full name, but they just call them Mogs.
The Moo-Moos.
The chlamydichlorians, the sloppy joes.
Yeah, I know. Or the Omega Moos.
But they just figure like, hey, if we knock out that planet's last remaining superheroes, then Earth, we can just take Earth for the pickings.
That's right, yeah, because they've come down here. You know, why do fucking aliens always choose Earth to run to? You know, why you bringing your problems to us? You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Well, where else you gonna go?
Don't they know we got
you gonna
enough
go to
problems?
Venus where the atmosphere is all ammonia?
Yeah.
What can you do there?
Yeah, Superman comes in. What does he do? He brings fucking General Zod, his bitch with him. And shit. You know, it's always like aliens always coming here to head out and bringing us your problem.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
exactly.
every time somebody shows up, they got baggage.
You know, we talking about Mexicans. Don't worry about the Mexicans. Worry about the aliens who are bringing the other aliens with them. You know, but here, yeah, we have this alien race that's here, and yeah, they figure like, hey, we wipe out human beings, we can just kind of take over the Earth because that's what they do.
Yeah, all 5 of them. Which kind of didn't make any sense to me, but
And look, basically, when you break this down, the business here, I'm not talking about so much the movie, but the business here is to attach a dick and a pair of balls to Twilight to get that male crowd into it. You know?
That's exactly
pretty
what I
much,
thought.
yeah.
I was like, you know what? This is Twilight, except guys can watch it and enjoy it. You don't have like
sort of. Don't go too far. But
You
yeah.
don't, you don't have Bella Swan just like crying all the time, just like just depressing the shit out of everybody, and two gay guys fighting over like Popeye and Bluto over olive oil. I mean, it's like, look, we ain't trying to make a great movie here. We know we want to bring in some teenagers, throw some action at them, a little romance, and fuck it, let's just get to the action. Let's get some boys in here watching this shit. And you know what? It ain't a great movie. I don't even know if I can say it's good, but it is entertaining.
The thing is, it is very generic in every sense of the word. I mean, even like the first 20 minutes plays almost exactly in a weird way like Twilight. Especially when the guy discovers his powers, where I'm like, okay, this is like another CW Smallville TV show. Where a
Movie is
lot
written by the guys who do Smallville.
is it?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Miller and Goff? Yeah, it was. It's the same guys who do Smallville. who
Okay,
put this
because I was
movie
like,
together.
wow, they really did rip it off. But but the thing is, it is very generic, and you could kind of tell it is one of those movies that it's trying to be like the next Twilight. They are hoping to get some kind of guy crowd in there, even though it still suffers from really terrible dialogue. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
It
what?
really
It's a
does.
weird thing because you're right. There is bad dialogue. It's especially bad when they explain the whole what the plot is. When they tell you like, oh well, you're an alien and all this. And they say, and you listen to it, it's silly, and yet you get an actor like Timothy Olyphant, he's kind of selling it. It's like he showed up to work. He's like, I don't care if it's silly or not. I'm here to make this convincing. And when he's talking, I completely believe him.
he's the one bit of credibility that this movie has going for it. Like
having that. And, but like not only but you get a bunch of bad dialogue, but there's also some genuinely funny dialogue, like some banter back and forth. That wasn't just like bad puns. I was like, you know what? That was actually funny and kept me going.
You are right. Timothy Olyphant is the only person that can come into a scene and sell a line that says, the Magadorians are following us. It was like, what? It's like, you know what? Had anybody else said that, I slapped the shit out of it. Timothy Olyphant said it. It's cool.
or laugh my ass off on the floor. Going, what the fuck? Yeah. What did my 12-year-old daughter just put in here?
What you call me?
And it is funny how Timothy Olyphant, like right now, he's at the height of his career. I mean, ever since he did Deadwood, that guy has just gone from one hit series to one good movie. You see him everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he didn't have to do this.
No, not at all.
But he did, and he doesn't show up just to collect a check. He's actually into it. I'm like, hey man, my hat's off to you.
Wait, these lines are stupid, but I'm going to say them with conviction.
Pack your stuff. We're leaving.
I'm not going.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm not going.
Okay. If you want to pick the next place, that's
It's
fine.
not my fight, and it never was. I can't even remember a world before this one.
Wait a minute. Is this because of a girl? Go upstairs and get your stuff.
You're not my father.
No. He's dead. He died for you. In fact, you know what? You have no idea how many others have made sacrifices so you could live, and it wasn't so you could come here and experience puppy love like a real live boy.
I'm not leaving.
It makes you think of like he did this as a favor to like either a nephew or niece, or I don't know if the guy's married and has kids.
Well,
but
let me tell you something, man. This is directed by DJ Caruso. Now, DJ Caruso, as far as movies go, he makes bad movies that can be enjoyable.
Okay.
Because he made Disturbia, he
Okay.
made Eagle Eye, he made The Salton Sea.
I love the Salt and
Oh,
Salt.
But
really?
see, but the thing is, DJ Caruso also did some episodes of The Shield. So
That's
now,
where I know his name from.
Okay.
yeah, that's right. And so, and see, I saw Eagle Eye, recognized it for all its stupidity. 'Cause, I mean, that is one of the dumbest movies I've
It
ever
is.
seen.
Yeah.
I liked it. And the only reason why I liked it is because DJ Caruso, and I think it's because because of his work in television, he knows how to keep a movie going. So when you sit up there and think like, man, that was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever. We got to move on to this next scene.
Yeah.
You know what? I noticed this movie do that a lot. Where like I was like, you know what? I'm kind of liking this despite itself. All right, now it's doing something stupid. Like right in the middle of like where the action has to come and we hit urgency, the characters have to stop and kiss, and I'm like, this kills a movie every time. Why are they doing this?
It does.
And before they get completely steeped in it, they cut, they're going right back to some action. I'm like, that's the way to do it.
And there's one great scene that I won't even. No, I take that back. It's not great. It's one scene where it had me scratching my head, going, "Okay, all this shit's going on right now, but yet you're gonna find time to go and develop some film in the high school dark room.
Yeah.
Really? There's some real shit going on outside, and you're hanging out making lovey-dovey. No time for love, Dr. Jones. Time to get the fuck out of there.
Well, that's the deal with this movie, man. I mean, in this film, this alien that has come to Earth. Now they're talking about how we got to stay off the grid. We got to stay hidden. I think the first thing you would do, don't get a fucking cell phone plan. All right, because you on the grid. Anytime you use that cell phone, it's like it's like we don't need to be noticed, but I'm gonna call you every hour. Tell me the Oliphant is protector saying, and the alien's name is John Smith, so they can hear. So he goes as far as to name his name John Smith to blend in, but yet he's got AT&T. And not only that, but I'm gonna call you every hour, John Smith, to see if you're okay, to make sure nobody's found you. And it's like, well, I think the aliens, if they're as smart as I think they are, can tap into your phone bill. You're gonna be noticed by a satellite somewhere.
But you say that, but we start off with the death of number 3. Number 3 is living in the Amazon in a cave using pterodactyls to communicate with other people like the Flintstones, and he still gets found.
He does. They communicate with carrier pigeon. That pigeon sold him out. That pigeon's like a stool pigeon. Hey man, my wings are tired. I got a family to feed. I'm sorry.
Shit. It makes you wonder.
5 kids to feed.
It makes you wonder, how come nobody found Dave Chappelle? Maybe they should have called him to get some advice on
if these
how to
aliens
hide.
were. Well, okay, now I can let that kind of slide that little bit right there because they tell you early on in the movie we're staying off the grid, but this alien is a teenager now. Like the thing is, he's hit puberty.
He's horny.
The fools start glowing. There's a scene where he's in class, dick start glowing.
Right, I know.
I mean, because it's like he sees a girl and he's just like, like, okay, we're exaggerating there, but he does. I mean, it's like he's a teenager. He's he's starting to discover things about himself where normally a normal person would notice that, oh, I got pubes. He's noticed like, fuck, my hands are glowing now.
I got superpowers.
Yeah,
as soon as his dick gets hard, he becomes the ultimate raver. It's like, man, with these legacies or whatever they're called, these powers. I'm like, wow, back on their home planet, they must have had the coolest fucking raves ever. With these goddamn shit glowing out of their ass and coming out their ears. I'm like,
back on your home planet, back on your home planet, somebody see your hands are glowing. They'd be like, man, you shouldn't do that. You jerk off too much.
You're gonna go blind with that shit.
Hair's gonna grow in those spots.
But yeah, he's starting to discover all these powers about himself, and they're starting to come out in the open. They're starting. I mean, this fool's on YouTube, dick glowing, and it's like, okay, I can understand that because that plays later on to the movie. It's like they just can't hide anymore. They get to a point where they destroy parts of the city, and it's like, hey, okay, I can understand that. They just don't try to hide it anymore. But there's other things in this movie that. For a while, I was saying that this movie was a lower rating than what I would give it because, listen, first of all, I hate this kind of science fiction. Absolutely hate it. It's like where somebody comes in and narrates saying the cliche, I am the last of my kind. I am part of an alien race with a stupid name.
Like, hey, the only reason I can forgive something like that because the other alternative is to like take time to actually show a flashback of all that. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to sit through that.
No, you don't want to sit through that, but I just hated that the narrator, and I'm like, okay, this is corny to me.
Yeah, it's corny.
And it does play into some corny parts of the movie. The other corny part of the film, very hokey, are that being that they're trying to appeal to that Twilight crowd, somebody said, okay, you can't make this a straightforward action film because, for a movie that is aimed towards like younger teenagers, because it is.
No, it's based off a book that was made specifically for young adults.
In fact, the lead alien in this, the kid here, John Smith, was 15 years old in the book. You know, in this movie, he's obviously 25. You know,
He's like 30, man.
yeah, he's like fucking 30-something years old. Like, looking at him, it's like, all right, this motherfucker, man. Well, I don't know why you're trying to enroll in high school. You know, because it comes in.
Well, you know, it is the Smallville guys doing this, so they use 30-year-olds.
It's like high school students. Them, and I was like, well, if it worked for Billy Madison, maybe. You know,
I was just thinking, goddamn,
really?
you know, come on, man. You
Adam
know,
Sandler's next movie.
it should be.
why are you trying to enroll in high school? You could at least enroll in community college or something. You know? It's like, okay, but all right, whatever.
The chicks are hotter in high school. Come on.
That is true. Yeah, younger chicks, he can get away with
The
it.
better.
On my planet, you know, 1,000 years old on my planet is 13 here on Earth. So he goes to this school, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, all right, man, you know, we got this hokey plot here with the aliens, but they try to get into this love thing. And so in order to draw not only like young boys in it, but they want to get that Twilight crowd, which is young girls. So they really build up the love angle. And the love angle is not only like supplemented by bad dialogue, which includes things like, our planet, when we fall for someone, it's forever. You know, and the whole crowd starts laughing at this. I'm like, come on, man. Even the Twilight girls are like, that's stupid.
I was like, come on, you're making George Lucas's dialogue sound great.
But not only that, but it has a song that has to come in every 20 minutes to sell a soundtrack.
That's the CW model.
Yeah, the CW infection. Yeah,
Exactly. So everything that's why I say that this is this is an enjoyable episode, a really good episode of a bad TV show. A bad a CW TV show aimed towards teens, because everything that annoys you about those shows, they put a little bit extra on in this film. So,
well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that the relationship it is very forced, and it's forced for a reason, to get that target audience, and that's where it kind of takes you out. Because it's like, for me at least with this film, it's like they could have done a whole lot more with this background. At least make this character a little bit more interesting that you're supposed to be following, besides just seeing him fucking and his hands glow every once in a while. Because honestly, I was like, okay, this is kind of typical like badly written sci-fi, but you're losing me already, because you're getting into this high school shit, and even though you've brought in this threat that could threaten the entire world, it's like I don't want to go to high school right now. I want to see how you guys are going to try to resolve this. And the thing is, there's a big moment of drag throughout the middle section of this movie, where I'm just like, you know what, they better do something really quick to really get me back into this. And eventually they do, because I mean, the one thing I will say about this movie is it does have a good payoff. You know, we were talking about it earlier, Corey, where it's like, you know, they obviously had a budget that they could work with. So they're like, you know what, we can't do too much crazy shit throughout this whole movie because our budget's gone. So you know what, we'll just save it for the very tail end of the movie.
That's probably what Michael
and
Bay
they
told her
did.
to do.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, and they did. And you know, it did pay off, even though it's still generic. It's everything you've seen here. It's not doing anything new, and it's not trying to do anything new. It's just trying to find its niche audience so they can come back for the sequel. And you know, I just thought, okay, it was saved by that. You know, the big spectacle at the end. This movie was definitely saved by it. But other than that, I really didn't. It really didn't. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me, to be honest.
Really? I'm surprised to hear you say that, because you being such a big Smallville fan,
right?
And it just had that feel to it all over.
No, it did.
Except that I don't know. It's like every negative thing y'all are saying, I can't say anything against that. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right. All of that, and yet maybe because I expected worse, or the way it set itself up as the kind of movie that I normally don't like. The fact that it had the good banter and the characters were likable, and I enjoy watching this kid like just kind of discover his powers as he went along. I mean, it was almost like I set my expectations way low, and based on that, I had fun with it. I mean, it's not something would go see again, or if they were making a sequel, I'd be like, ooh, I can't wait. But while I was watching it, I was having fun. I even got into the whole, you know, high school dynamic with the relationship and the bully and the new friend. I mean, you're right. It's generic, but I found it to be fun. Like, those characters made me like them early on. And a lot of the credit goes to Timothy Olyphant. Just the fact that, you know, him there as protector, he sold a lot of it. A lot of stuff that would have been just any, there's so many actors who would have just blown it. I mean, the only way out of it would have been to go so over the top that I would not have been in the movie at all. And I like the fact that it's not a good movie, but they were trying. It wasn't one of those where like Piranha 3D, where they go like, "Hey, we know we're making a bad movie. Just laugh along with us."
Hey, I
no.
love that movie.
I'm like, no, fuck you. You had the opportunity to make a good movie and you chose not to. I ain't giving you credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But here, hey man, they tried. This DJ Caruso, he knows how to take bad material and do something with it that's not hard.
You know, you're right, and I will give the movie credit for that. It pretty much knows on its sleeve what exactly it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, if this were to come out in the 70s, it would have been called Laser Blast. But but the thing is, it is a notch above Laser Blast. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that it doesn't introduce anything new, which is like when you do a story like this, I am kind of expecting it. If I wanted to watch Smallville, I'll see it on a TV show where I'm not paying money for it. But the thing is, where it does succeed is, yes, you're right. I will give the movie credit that it does have some likable characters. I just thought there was so much more potential what they could have done with it that they didn't.
Well, I'm a sucker for certain things. Like high school movies, I usually hate unless there's something that appealed to me, and I like the fact that John Smith came in because the character is bland, all right? I mean, as far as an actor goes, this guy right now is bland except for the special effects you slap on him. And that's the other thing about this movie. Is like another thing to comparing it to Twilight. Look, even though this is an alien, these kind of powers that he has, that's transferable to any kind of fucking mythological or alien creatures. Like, oh, he can do telekinesis like everybody else. Oh, he glows like everybody else. Oh, he can leap on limbs and like do gymnastics very good like everybody else. I've seen this, right? Fucking that gay ass vampire in Twilight can do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he didn't look as good doing it.
No, that's true. In this one, a little more manly, but still, it's the same kind of powers we see transferred to everything. You know what I'm saying? So with this one, I'm looking at this and just kind of like, I like that they added a little bit more to that. There's an actor in here named Kalen McAuliffe. He plays Sam in the movie. Sam is this little nerd that gets picked on the film. It's funny because the moment John Smith gets to gets to high school, it's like, and this is another thing like why I don't like high school stories like this, because everybody is a type and they can rarely get out of that. I mean, the moment they get to like, this guy gets to high school, the bully introduces himself as the bully.
Yeah.
Pardon me, I'll be the bully.
No, he should have had a name tag on him that said the bully.
He comes up and says, so your name's John. Look, anytime you need an asshole around to do this, and this, I'm a professional bully. Give me a call. I will be serving you as the bully of this school. Thank you very much. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, hey, we know who you are. It's like, can't you give this guy a couple of days to at least find something that you don't like about him? It's kind of like, hey, you're the new guy. Fuck you.
Yeah, I did love that they'd introduced him along with his dad, and for a little while you're like thinking, okay, besides this story that I'm getting shown here, there's something else going on with this town. Like, why is everyone a fucking stalker? Even the lead girl is in some way a stalker. She's like posting up photos of this guy who she just met. She gets like 30 pictures on Facebook, like all just like, here's my website. Yeah. Here's 30 pictures of this guy I just met today.
The actress who does that, her name is Diane Agron, and she's a stalker chick. She's like, she's disturbed. She's up there taking pictures of teachers picking their noses and and she's stalking this one guy.
Well, she's stalking the goddamn sheriff is stalking. Where I'm like, why are you so concerned about what your son is doing with some chick?
It's a small town. They said they beat you over the head with the fact this is a small town. There ain't nothing else to do except stalk. You go to the county fair, and when that's over, you stalk your neighbors.
Hey, you stalk your neighbors up, bully them. Because even when the bully comes up and introduces himself, he's like, just to prove to you I'm the bully, I will introduce the school nerd. I'm gonna listen, let me, because he's kind of like.
I mean, that kid is one radioactive spider away from putting on.
That's all I thought about. I was like, oh wow, they're introducing Peter Parker.
Yeah, Kalen McAuliffe, man, that kid who plays Sam in the movie. In fact, the bully's like, allow me to demonstrate my services. And then the little nerd goes by and he's like, listen, look at this. He gives the guy a wedgie, pushes him into a locker and shit. It's like, hey, no, come on, man. In this one scene, we're introduced to every fucking type in high school, and it's like that's what I don't like about these things. But I am a sucker for the guy who could be the jock, the guy who could be like the prom king, who decides to fight for the little man.
Yeah, I need to introduce you to a little movie called Massacre at Central High. You would love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because see, I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. The guy that goes against type, and I like that storyline because John Smith realizes I have all these powers, and he's like, "Look, I didn't grow up in high school. This guy's a fucking asshole. This is not right. So he fights for the little guy.
Yeah.
And I even kind of like the romance between him and the girl you're talking about, Sarah, who's the love interest in this. It's probably the worst part of the movie because it's the most hokey part, but I don't know, man, because I like this character after he defended the little guy.
It's a fun little romance, and they do acknowledge that she has parents who, like, you get to meet them, and even at the kissing scene where the parents are, like, flicking the lights. Because right before that happens, I was like, where are the parents? And it's like, oh, okay. They're acknowledging the fact that...
And that wasn't a bad scene either.
No, it wasn't.
Because John wants parents, he wants a family so bad, just a normal life, that he goes to this girl's house, and the scene with the family was not annoying.
No, it was effective, yeah.
Actually. Yeah, like I said, man, listen, this is not a good movie. It's not. I mean,
you know what? It's like we have to say that for all the people who are going to jump on us. But
it's not, because through the whole movie, I was looking at this and I was thinking, like, man, this is a rental. This is a straight up rental. But it's like the director come out and said, listen, we didn't have a whole lot of money, but what money we did have, we saved it for the climax right here. And everything went fucking nuts. Like, they blew up a high school. The powers on these kids went nuts. They introduced this chick who is number 6, who you see through the whole movie, who's played by an Australian actress, Teresa Palmer.
She's
she
like
comes in and starts kicking ass.
Amber Heard Jr.
Amber Heard Jr. They have a beagless with a fucking dog. It's all of a sudden steroids.
You get a monster fight in there.
Yeah, there's a fucking crazy CG monster face. It's like the newest Godzilla, the dog. There's a beagleness who decides to take off his shirt, like, I'm gonna kick ass too. It's like it went crazy. It went fucking nuts at the end.
They threw everything at the end, even the kitchen sink. You see that fucking fighting. You see it fighting monsters.
It was insane.
I mean,
at
the
the
kitchen
end.
sink got its ass kicked, but it was in there.
Yeah, it was in there.
Oh man, and I like the way they like they showed you a CG fight of a monster. It's like, well, they mostly just put that little section in. Like, they went back to the drama and came back, and these monsters were still fighting.
Oh yeah,
like,
no,
it ain't over yet, motherfuckers.
And that is the biggest payoff about this film.
It is. I would say
really
that it was the climax of this film where they just pulled out all the stops. Everything that I really, really like to see, not even a good action film, but just in an action film, a decent action film. They pulled it out all at the end. That's when I said, all right, you know what? I would love to play the snooty critic right here and say that this is a rental. Hey, Captain Matinee to the rescue.
I know.
Gots to give this a matinee, man. I was entertained at the end.
Corey, you're so full of shit. Because I'm looking at this going like, you know what? Structurally, it's just a rental. It was made to be a rental. It's perfectly made for that kind of movie that you tell people, hey man, rent this. You're gonna like it. But between the bits of dialogue that I liked and the fun little surprises, the fact that the villains were actually like, I thought they were just going to be creeps in black coats, but whenever they talked, they were actually very entertaining villains.
They were the comic relief of this movie.
They were really good villains. And all the action shit that happened at the end, I'm right there with you. I have to give it a, albeit a low matinee, but a matinee nonetheless.
That's what mine is. It is a low matinee.
I actually had it at just kind of a straight matinee, although at the very end, there is a character alignment switch that just comes out of nowhere, which is like, wait, why would this character do this? Doesn't even make any sense, and you didn't set it up. But, Oh, okay, whatever. But you know what? It's a bad movie that finds a way to be hella entertaining, and matinee.
It's a bad movie that I would expect to see if I rented it. So that I think, at least for me, it's every sense of the word rental, only because this is something that you find at a video store, if those still exist. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, this could be bad, but when you watch it, it is entertaining, but only entertaining in the sense that, it is a rental. It's nothing I can really see myself like going to pay matinee even if I didn't get to see it for free, because there are moments where it really does kind of drag, and you're just like, okay, let's get to the good shit already. Let's see what this guy could really do. Sure, this romance is crowbarred in, and then when that music pops in, it's like, okay, this is the CW TV movie that I kind of figured that it was, with the exception of that it has a big budget at the very end of it that saves it. So yeah, for me, it's a full on rental. Yeah, that's all I can give it.
I just like how this kid is so handsome, you know, and yet he thinks he can go to he can go to school and just blend in. He's like,
I do love that. This is a school where you just show up with any kind of records that you Xeroxed and sign your name to, and they go like, "Oh, okay, you can sit down and have at a desk."
I love his disguise to where when he wants to change, just change how he looks, he decides to go pick up some hair dye, and like, you know, puts it in his hair to where he looks even cooler. You know?
No, even funnier than that, he gets on campus. First of all, he doesn't get out the car in any kind of disguise. He gets out the car, starts walking among the kids, and then he decides to be Eminem and puts his hoodie on and thinking like, "Oh, this is surely will make me unnoticeable to anybody."
But you know what? Y'all laugh, but it kind of did. I was like, I laughed at that first, but I was like, you know what? Now he does look like every other fucking teenager there, you know. But he could just as well be Edward, except looking all broody.
See, I just thought he was a 30-year-old guy in a hoodie.
That is the one thing. Maybe looks like a pedophile trying to play.
Like he was there to substitute that day.
I was like, man, that's a really good-looking janitor.
He's that old man on Family Guy. No, I guess the thing I was thinking is just, you know what, compared to movies like Jumper and Push and Twilight, I just thought this was better than those, and that's the kind of expectation I came into.
It was. I mean, that's not saying a whole lot, but
no, it's just saying like of other generic sci-fi action movies of this type, this was the one I preferred over the others.
And by meaning this is better, we mean that it had a little bit more money to pull out a bunch of explosions and monsters.
It's got that Michael Bay name on it, which he probably came in on the last day and like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We got to get some explosions going on.
Exactly. Well, it's like somebody said, here, watch this movie. Yeah, it was okay. What did you want to see in it? Monsters, some really crazy fight scenes, people disappearing in midair. Yeah, all right, we'll throw that in. Yeah, we'll do that. We got the money for that. Yeah.
In other words, they had Michael Bay come in and just set the set on fire.
Pretty much.
Kaboom!
Yeah, I know.
There's your fucking action scene right there, bitch.
I want a big explosion at the end.
Hot chicks and explosions. Fuck off, DJ Caruso.
Just throwing a girl for no reason. That could kick a lot of ass.
What's coming?
Dad! Where's she?
You have no idea how many have made sacrifices so you could live.
If they kill you, we are all gonna die.
Who are you?
Number 6.
You're more powerful together.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.